friends. Hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello. So today's video we are doing a yass or pause. Cue the intro. Hello, how are you? So today we are going to be talking about some new makeup, just chit-chatting. These are some of my favorite videos to do because I love going through trend mood, finding new things, and then clowning on it. So if you're interested in that, stick around. We have some doozies today. Doozies to talk about because the makeup world has just been trying it. I feel like this is an interesting time of year because it's not really summer releases happening, but also the fall releases haven't started happening yet. I have vented about this in these types of videos before, but the fact that fall, the season, usually gets skipped by makeup brands is like the bane of my existence. Like everybody jumps right to Christmas and we never get like chai tea latte and pumpkin picking and apple picking palettes. Like it's always, it hits September and then it's like jingle bells and I'm sick of it. So we always skip fall, but this is a weird time because summer stuff is still kind of coming out, but also we're starting to transition to fall and winter, and you always have random brands coming out with new complexion products. Like everything's always happening. So there's some interesting stuff on the list today and I thought it'd be fun to just chit chat. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the Fenty Skin launch. So Fenty Skin is a new brand basically. It's an extension of the Fenty makeup line, and Rihanna is obviously the face of Fenty Beauty. They're coming out with a cleanser, a toner, and a cream. So a 3-step. I think those are 3 good solid steps for a makeup routine. Here's the thing about this. First of all, I think the packaging is very pretty, but it does look a lot like the Florence by Mills packaging, the Millie Bobby Brown packaging, which is pretty affordable skincare. All of that stuff is like under $20. So I am a little bit off put right off the bat that the packaging of everything is not super, I don't want to say bougie, but it's not super like, oh, fancy, which for the price tag, which it is not super expensive. We're not talking like Tatcha La Mer Drunk Elephant pricing, but it's definitely, everything is above, I believe, $25. So that's decently expensive. I'm not really a skincare expert, so I cannot speak to the formula of everything, but I'm going to be watching Hiram because I'm sure he'll talk about this and I can't wait to hear his opinion. However, I do think that this looks good. My first initial reaction to seeing this was like, oh, I'm gonna buy that because I love Fenty as a makeup brand. I love trying different skincare. So I was definitely interested in buying this right off the bat. But the more I think about it, the more I think I do want to wait for reviews. I feel like with skincare especially, it's kind of like you have to see if it's gonna work for your type of skin. And I don't know if this is going to work for my type of skin. I kind of have to watch and see how other people with similar skin types to me react to it, how they like it. I have a pretty good skincare routine right now that I've had for a while, and I'm not super keen on switching it up right now because it's been working so well. Like I've been doing good. My skin has been doing better than usual. So I'm not super keen to switch it up. I don't think I need this. And I think the problem with stuff like this is because it's Fenty and because we all love Fenty and like all that, I feel like your first instinct is to absolutely just like jump to go buy this. But really think to yourself, do you need a new toner? Are you looking for a new toner? Are you looking for a new cream? Are you looking for a new cleanser? And if you are, go for it, like go off. But most of us aren't really looking for new things at this exact moment in time. So really consider if you're actually looking for it, if it's something you're gonna use, because the last thing you wanna do is spend $30 on a bottle of toner and then it just sits in your drawer and you never really use it, or you use it a couple times and then you stop using it. You wanna make sure you're buying stuff that's actually gonna be good for your skin, that's gonna be healthy for your skin, that's gonna help you. So what I'm gonna do personally is trust the skincare channels that I tend to trust and kind of figure out and see, which there's a lot of them, kind of figure out and see if any of these products would actually work for me. The other thing is it is their initial launch, so I'm assuming they're gonna be coming out with a lot more stuff. If they come out with an eye cream, it's over. Or like a lip mask, over. Definitely jumping on that. But as far as these types of things, I don't really need a new cleanser or a new toner at the moment. Next, we have new products from Goss Cosmetics. He is also coming out with 3 kohl eye pencils. Okay, I don't watch Goss particularly. I know a lot of people really like him. I've just never gotten into his videos ever, and he seems like a perfectly fine person. I just don't really know him. But I know that he's very good at applying makeup. I know a lot of people take a lot of his tips very seriously, so it makes sense that he has a makeup line and all of that. However, I do want to say the palette, I don't dislike it. And based on the swatches, it looks like it performs beautifully. But I think the matte to shimmer ratio is a little weird, especially since it is a 6-pan. I've actually been leaning a lot more towards quads and 6-pans and smaller palettes lately. I used to love the big like 35-pan Morphe palettes and like the big palettes, but I have actually been, maybe it's just because I'm staying inside more and I'm not really doing these full looks anymore. It's a little bit more basic stuff because of quarantine, but for whatever reason, I actually have been gravitating more towards smaller palettes. So I don't mind that this is a smaller palette, but with that being said, I think the shimmer to matte ratio is a little bit off. I would have preferred if there was at least one other matte, or he had just committed and made it like shimmers, because the shimmers look stunning. The mattes, everybody kind of has a brown and a black shadow somewhere. So it almost would have been cooler if he made this all shimmers. I don't think this looks bad though. I just think it's not my cup of tea. I also think it was a bold choice to include a matte black and not a dark brown that would have complemented the other brown he had in here, just because I think black is kind of a not a polarizing color. It's a difficult color to work with and a difficult color to use. So right off the bat, if this had been a dark brown, I would have been, instead of a black, I personally would have been way more interested in it, because using black shadow tends to freak me out. So I probably would have been more interested in that. Also, I do want to mention, I think coming out with kohl eye pencils, and I could be wrong, I do think that's an interesting choice. Only because I do feel there has been a bit of a shift, especially in the makeup community, of people using more gel-based eyeliners. I kind of feel like I don't really see people using the pencils like this anymore, mostly because they're kind of uncomfortable to use. They're not very gentle on the eyes, whereas a gel liner is typically a lot more gentle and feels a lot better. So I was kind of intrigued by the fact that he chose the kohl pencil, but also I'm sure people still use these. I've just noticed on YouTube there's definitely been a shift into gel liners. So I was surprised he didn't come out with gel liners as opposed to the kohl liners. But either way, I don't think this looks bad. It's just not something I'm gonna pick up. I don't need this. Personally, I don't need this. I'm not super into Wayne Goss. Like, I don't need this. We have the next Dragun Beauty launch, and it is a red liquid lipstick. The packaging on this is really pretty. I think it's very on brand for Nikita. I will say her launches kind of confuse me. I feel like with a new brand, and we're gonna talk about another new brand that's influencer run in a minute that I also feel like is doing some weird stuff. I feel like with a new brand, you want to kind of establish yourself a little bit. Like, you want to kind of establish your brand, you want to get inventory. So far, Nikita has the color correctors, the powders, that face palette, and now a lipstick. But it's all like single products. Like, she has one color corrector, she might have two now, but one or two color correctors, face powders, face palette, and then a lipstick. So I feel like putting out just a singular red lipstick is kind of a weird choice. It might have been a financial thing. She's probably a smaller, more independently run business, so coming out with multiple things might have been just not cost effective. However, I will say from a consumer standpoint, it's a little weird just to have like one lipstick. Like, normally when people come out with lipsticks, it's kind of like a collection. There's an array you can choose from. So I do think having just one standard lipstick from again, just a purely consumeristic standpoint, kind of a weird choice. This is at least on brand for her. She wears a lot of red lipsticks, all things like that. I do think the packaging is cute. Nikita Dragun as a person, I just absolutely cannot stand. So I'm never gonna buy anything from her brand. But I have to say, like, out of all of her launches so far, besides the color corrector, which I thought was genius, this is probably the most on-brand thing that I would actually be like, oh, that makes sense, like, works out. The face palette I thought was so weird, and I hated the idea of the powders, but like this and the color corrector starting to kind of be on the right track. So I don't hate this, but I also am just not gonna buy it. Okay, next. I'm kind of sad. I feel kind of bad. Normally I don't feel bad being a little bit more critical. However, Patrick Starr is, I don't watch a ton of his content, but just as a person, seems generally pretty unproblematic. It seems like a good person. Seems like he works really, really hard, is doing all these crazy cool makeup looks, like actually represents positivity in the beauty community, which I really enjoy about him. And he came out with his brand One Size Beauty. When he first launched One Size Beauty, all he launched were makeup wipes and this makeup removal mist. And I did buy the mist and I've been trying it out, and it's, you know, I will talk about that in a different video, but I will say I prefer other makeup removing methods, but it was kind of a weird choice for a first launch from a makeup brand to release makeup removers. It was a weird choice. And also the makeup wipes were incredibly overpriced. They were like $15 for 21 wipes, which is absurd. So it was kind of a weird choice for a very first launch from a brand. And so very closely after releasing that, I would say about a week later, he has now announced the actual makeup that's coming along. And when in his release, the tweet that he tweeted out was like, a lot of people had a lot to say when all I released was, you know, makeup removing products, but I was just getting my stock ready for the makeup part. And it's like, but why? First of all, I would say that tweeting something like, especially as a second launch, and I am a little bit more critical of like brand owners, I do think you have to have a level of professionalism, and I did feel like that tweet was a little bit just kind of strangely put. People had a lot of criticisms because you made makeup wipes, which arguably we're kind of trying to work our way out of using. They're not great for the environment. These particular ones were incredibly overpriced, and it was also just a weird choice. So I think to just be like, hey, you guys thought I was so stupid for doing this, but here's the makeup. Why wouldn't you just release the makeup first? Why wouldn't you? I feel like the makeup removing stuff would have been a great follow-up to the makeup. Why wouldn't you just wait a week, get your stock for your makeup, and just put that out first? Because you're launching a makeup company. Anyway, that's besides the point. I have to say, and I feel bad, I don't like the stuff he put out. He put out a palette. It's not great. I'm not impressed by the palette. I would argue that Patrick Starr is a very talented makeup artist who does a lot of cool, awesome looks. I remember a while back he was doing that whole color series where every day he would do a new, completely monochromatic look. Like, he's known for this extra personality with this extra style, and his makeup looks are always extra and crazy. So why did you put out a neutral palette with a pop of blue? It doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't really add up to me. I was very confused by this. They do look pretty. The shimmers look pretty. The mattes look fine. But I have this palette a trillion times over, and so do most people. I also wasn't impressed by the packaging or the logo, just aesthetically. I'm not very attracted to it. I'm kind of on the fence about this whole launch. I don't really like the way it was done, just for me. I'm not like writing off the brand. Like, I'm excited to see what else he comes out with. But I think for a first launch, here's my thing. So many influencers have started their own makeup companies at this point. So many of them. It feels like every top influencer has some sort of company. So as a person knowing this, Patrick Starr, knowing he's getting in the game kind of late, and knowing that everyone else started their makeup brands back in like 2016, 2017, and now he's just starting his, you would think he would know that he would have to start with a bang. Like, your first impression right out of the gate of this needs to be, I am a different brand than all of these other influencer brands. I am different. So coming out with makeup remover wipes as your very first launch doesn't scream, I am different. I'm doing something different than it screams, I'm doing a cash grab, to me at least, because you're selling overpriced makeup wipes. And then to make your second release so soon after, this kind of more boring, and to not even be creative with your packaging or your marketing or your designs when you have brands like Lunar Beauty that are doing these crazy, amazing, cool designs, and you have Kristen Dominique doing the really cool color stories of her palettes. You have a lot of competition and you're aware of that. So I'm confused as to why he came out with stuff that was a little bit more boring. Does that make sense? Am I being too critical? I don't know. I'm not interested in these launches, but I will wait and see what else the brand has to offer. Okay, next. I actually ordered stuff from this. So this was a Yass for me. Patrick Ta came out with some new stuff. He came out with a new spray. He came out with an all over body glow. And he also came out with a lip oil, like mask thing. And then he also came out with some new lipsticks. I bought a lipstick, the all over body glow, and the lip glow thing. I'm so excited about this. I have just not yet been disappointed with a Patrick Ta product. I have loved, that's not true. I was disappointed with the highlighting spray. That was not very good. But everything else I've tried from him, I've absolutely loved. His brand aesthetic is so good. He has really got his finger on the pulse of trends. He understands that people want the more glowy, dewy, natural kind of thing. He came out with the brow wax because the whole using soap to shape your brows was becoming really popular. Like, he's really on point as far as following trends and also making stuff that is so aesthetically pleasing to that type of person. So like me, I'm basic and I like looking glowy. So this packaging and this product and all of these really appeal to me. I haven't gotten them yet. I ordered them pretty recently. So I'll let you guys know when I get them, what I think of them, what I think of the products. I'm very excited about this, but this was an absolute Yass for me. I didn't buy the spray because, as you guys know, I don't really believe in sprays. I'm not really convinced they do anything, but I did buy the all over body shimmer and the like gloss thing. They just looked stunning. Very excited about these products. Next, this is obviously a Yass because I'm going to get it in PR, but I did want to give it a little shout out because Midas Cosmetics is doing a collab with Neon MUA, and they made face palettes. They made 4 different face palettes for all different types of skin tones. And honestly, I'm just so proud of the brand and I'm so proud of Neon MUA for coming up with this idea, this concept of creating bronzers and face palettes that are actually for deep, deep, deep skin. I feel like it is such a thing that is lacking in the makeup industry, and I'm so proud of the brand and him for coming up with this idea, creating this concept and executing it so flawlessly. I'm going to be getting these in PR and I'm so excited to use them and try them. So I just wanted to give that a little shout out on here. If you guys haven't seen that yet, I'm always down to support Midas. I'll leave the link down below. You can use Neon MUA. I think his code is code Neon MUA, so you can use his code or you can use my code. It's code Smokey Glow, but obviously use his because it's his thing. But this is really cool. I'm really, really excited for him, and it looks beautiful. I mean, just the whole concept, everything about this, I'm so, so excited for it. Okay, I got tagged in this so much. Okay. P.Louise is coming out with a new palette. It's basically the Secret Sinner palette, but it's all greens and blues and cool tones. Beautiful. I saw this and I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. Like the color story is so, so beautiful. And then I saw that she is still insisting on making this packaging as bulky as physically possible. I now have a DSM-5 because I'm a grad student, and I compared my DSM to her palette, and it's shockingly similar. My big, large diagnostic textbook is literally the same exact size as her palette. It's ridiculous. I can't support this and buy this literally on principle that the packaging is just so stupidly extra. It drives me insane how she does her packaging. It's so wasteful. There's no purpose for it. There's no reason for it. It probably makes the shipping price 10 times higher because she's an UK based, so you have to get it shipped here and it's like more expensive. It's annoying because the color story is beautiful. I would absolutely love to purchase this. I think the greens and the blues would look so pretty. This is like the first blue and green palette I've ever seen that I've been like, oh my God, I love this. Can't do it. Packaging, absolutely ridiculously wasteful. Stupidly wasteful. So next, I clown on BH Cosmetics quite a bit on this channel because normally I think their releases are pretty bad, but this I'm actually really proud of BH Cosmetics. I'm impressed. The actual package, they did an ice cream collection, and it's kind of these monochromatic palettes that aren't shaped like Color Pops, which is nice, a little bit original. They did these monochromatic palettes that are based around ice cream, and I think these look so freaking cute. I'm realistically probably not going to buy this, and that's really only because I don't need it. Like, I just don't need this. But I think, especially if you're kind of a beginner at makeup and you want to start playing around with color and you have a particular color in mind that you would love to play around with, these look amazing. The packaging is super cute, super on trend. The color stories are really nice, really well put together. Particularly love the blue and green ones. I love that they threw in a little bit different. It's kind of like the blues have some aqua, they have some more deeper tones. The greens have like Kelly greens, mint greens. I really love how these look. I think they look gorgeous. And I was excited that I actually liked something that BH Cosmetics put out because normally I'm like, oh my gosh, this is boring. It looks like Claire's makeup, but I really think they hit the nail on the head with this, and I hope to see more of this vibe and style from them, kind of re-bringing back the brand, because I think if they put out more stuff like this, they would start becoming a little bit more poppin' again. Okay, this isn't makeup, but I had to let you guys know because I got tagged a trillion times. Candle of the day today, by the way, is Lava from DW Home. This is the strongest candle ever, by the way. I got it at Marshall's. So strong. My Charles can smell it downstairs. He just called me and told me. So these candles are fantastic. However, you know that I'm going to be buying the Jackie Aina candles. Jackie Aina announced that she is coming out with a brand, and everyone was like, oh my God, it's makeup? It's not, it's candles, and I'm so excited. Finally, somebody is making something that I want. Finally, an influencer is putting out products that I'm excited about. They're candles. I'm so excited. The brand is called Forever Mood. 4 different scents right off the bat. I will be buying all of them. If you would like me to become a candle review channel, I happily I will do that. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited for her. I think this is a great idea. Desi Perkins also just came out with a new brand that wasn't makeup. It's sunglasses, and I think those are all really good ideas. As I kind of talked about earlier, I think because there are so many influencer brands, they can kind of get lost. So I think coming out with something that's not makeup kind of a good idea. I really enjoy the fact that it's like candles and sunglasses. Like, I think that's fun. I do think the Desi sunglasses are a little bit they're priced too high for what I would pay for sunglasses, but I will pay whatever the price is for these candles because they look awesome and I'm sure they smell amazing. So I'm excited about the candles. Finally. Oh God, all the jokes have been made, so I'm just gonna say it. The Becca Zero foundation is the stupidest thing that's ever happened. What clownery? What kind of nutty meeting happened where they were like, yeah, we're gonna make a primer, but we're gonna market it as a foundation? Innovation? No! Being innovative for the sake of being innovative. Nobody thought this was like a good idea. I need Misa to make like a Becca boardroom skit so I can see what happened in the Becca boardroom that led them to the place of a no pigment foundation. That is what a foundation is. Foundations are pigment. What do you mean it's a no pigment foundation? We already have a word for that. It's a primer. But they didn't want to put out just a primer. They wanted, I think Becca low-key did this on purpose. I think they knew it would get clowned a lot, and I think they knew that even if you're clowning something, that's still free promo. And Becca kind of needs the promo because they've been sort of falling off lately. Nobody's really been hype about any of their products since Jaclyn Hill. Is that too mean to say? I don't think it is. They're a corporation, not a person. I don't care. So I think they kind of low-key did this on purpose. They knew it would get clowned, but they were just like, whatever. It's stupid. It's so dumb. Don't buy it just to see if it works. Just watch some of the reviews people have put out already. It's blatantly obvious that these are not good products. They don't really do anything. It's basically like a moisturizer. So that's all I have to say about that. So anyway, that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I'm wearing on my face will be linked down below, along with a link to register to vote. That's right. You can click on that link. You can register to vote, and you can play an active role in your democracy. And along with that link will be my little social justice spotlight, where I have all of my mental health links, petitions to sign, important places to donate, things like that. Go check it out. And yeah, let me know what you're yassing or passing in the comments down below. I'm excited to hear about it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!